You mentioned this before. Roe versus Wade is now repealed on a federal level. And a whole bunch of southern states had triggers in place for just this particular situation where they outlawed abortion right then and there, including Georgia, I believe.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
Have you ever had an abortion yourself?
Yep.
Okay. How old were you?
Like 18, 19, I think 18 right in junior college. Yeah.
Okay. And let me just say this. I've always been pro-abortion. Even before I started having sex myself, I've always felt like this is obviously a woman's choice. This is her body. If she decides that this baby is not a good idea right now, and the baby is still like not developed yet, she should be able to do what she wants to do.
Well, I mean, it is sort of taking your things into your own hands, and just because I had one, I didn't never have another one, and but luckily I didn't need to have another one. I had a miscarriage and I had a kid.
Okay, so you were about 18, 19 years old, and what led up to this? Was this a guy you weren't very serious with, or were you just too young and not ready, or
too young and not ready?
Okay,
too young and not ready, and not in a serious enough relationship, and financially not ready.
There you go. And did the two of you have a conversation about this before you did it?
Yeah.
And he agreed that you should get an abortion?
He wasn't like gung-ho, like thank God, but he was like, I understand type thing.
Yeah, and the thing is that I don't think a lot of people realize this, is that there are, of course, exceptions and so forth. Yes, there are some women who get pregnant and the man wants an abortion and she's going to keep it, whether to trap the man or there's some money involved or whatever. And the woman will just go out and make her own decision regardless of what the man says. But I'd say that maybe 90, 95% of the time, abortions are usually conversations with the couple. And they both agree that this is the thing to do right now based on both of their lives and their relationship. They'll sit down and the woman will say, I'm thinking about getting one or whatever. And the man will say, yes, I think it's a good idea. Or maybe the man will say...
Because it's very rare that a man won't say, yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Not true.
Okay, like let's say you got 7 kids and now you're pregnant with your 8th one. Fuck, we got it. We can't, Or your boyfriend and, senior prom, everybody fuck night, official fuck night. Mm-hmm. And then you get pregnant and like, oh my God, I can't. My parents gonna kill me, Yeah. Or my uncle fucking did it to me, and that. But when you start becoming employee of the month at the abortion clinic, now you done took shit too far, And just because I've had one doesn't mean that there should really definitely be parameters in the age of the fetus or whatever, But I definitely think that, it should be not outlawed because you're going to send bitches back to them back alley abortion clinics and shit like that.
Well, not only that, but for example, Malcolm Gladwell in his book, The Outliers, a really big best-selling book, he talked about this, where how there's a correlation between abortion and crime. Whereas after they allowed abortion on a federal level, roughly 15, 20 years later, the crime rates started to lower significantly. It's because you actually took out a lot of people in the population that are going to be born in very bad situations. Right?
Mm.
Like, if a person has to have a baby and they're a teenager, that child is not going to be growing up in an ideal situation. If both parents are struggling financially and can barely afford to pay their rent on their apartment, you throw in an extra human being in that situation? And this is when like women are forced to do things that they don't want to do. Like how many mothers do you see in the strip club? Do you think that was a choice, that they aspired to be a stripper when they were in high school?
Right.
No, they had a baby. The man either wasn't around or didn't step up, and they have to go and essentially demean themselves with a bunch of strange men in order to make sure their baby is okay. And I applaud them doing that, but I don't think that this is an ideal situation for anyone involved. You should, had those women, let's just say, aborted those children, they could have gone on to college and actually had a career and had kids later on when they were more stable and they were actually ready for it. But instead, they're in the strip club and, I'm only going to do this for a year or two. And then, 10 years later, they're like
that's one way to look at it. I mean, for sure,
Yeah. I mean, was the abortion so traumatic for you that you didn't want to have another one? Because I hear that as well.
No.
No?
No.
No big deal?
No. Thank God.
Okay.
No. I never looked back. Now, I had miscarriage after that. That was kind of traumatic because I worked all through the hemorrhaging. Like I was on stage with like towels in between my legs because, still need money.
Yeah.
And, but that does not kill you, makes you stronger. I have a healthy, wonderful, amazing daughter. And that's that on that. I think I could raise one. I can educate one. I can keep up with one. But they start multiplying and they plot on you and then it's all fucked up.